Ah, hello, my good people. Here is Anthony again. And the reason why I am here, we need to advise each other about issue to do with life, especially if you are hitting 40 or maybe you are 35. You need to consider a lot of things, especially if you're fond of getting or taking the consumable debt. Because this credit card, sometimes we compile them to ourselves and then you start paying the minimum payment. It's become crazy. It will take you 14 to 24 years to complete it. So it is you to rethink, especially when you are at 35 and when you're at your 40s, and if you live in overseas country. Those are the advice that you need to be told by people. So sometimes that's why I do tell people that it's good to get a good friends who can advise you, especially issue to do with finances. And that's why I have authored two great books, The Power of Money Mindset and My Pocket Friend Abroad. They are these great books that I launched in the month of April. They are great books that you don't need to miss. You can go to Amazon.com or Barnes and Noble and get those books. It's going to help you. I know there are a lot of information outside there that can help you, but sometimes because of having appetite of getting new things or seeing our friends having different things that they have bought, you don't know the process that they have gone to get what they have. But at the end, we go for them because we want to be like them. But I want to tell you, if you're at your 40 years or at your 35 and you still are going for consumable credit and you're paying the minimum payment every month, I want to tell you, you are in a wrong lane, that you need to come back to the right route so that you can be able to better your life. Credit cards, I don't say that they're bad, but it is good if you're taking the depth of the things that is going to give you money, not the things that is going to, at the end, take money from you, especially when you're doing investment. That is something that you can consider. But having the student loan, having the consumable credit cards, you have also the mortgage. It becomes too much. The weight is very heavy, that to the extent that even your pay tab, especially, it is being over, the what you're supposed to get from your pay tab, it become more and more heavy, to the extent that it leaves you with stresses and pressure. I was listening to this young man, and he was saying there's some things you cannot, like, postpone in life. Like, for example, postponing to pay this credit card, especially the consumable credit card. Because if you continue making a payment of minimum payment, you know, it will take you at least 14 to 24 years to complete a certain amount, like 5,000, 10,000. It can take you a lot of years to complete it. And these people are crazy, especially when they're asking you to get money. They will convince you. Like, I remember, was it in the month of February, I called these guys when they were telling me about how good their credit is, and how I can get it more faster. And after that, now they, because I did not make a payment within the period that I was supposed to complete, because of a lot of engagement, a lot of things that are pressure with life and family. So they gave me an interest that made me crazy. I started thinking, how am I going to do this and finish this thing? And that is something that is affecting a lot of immigrants, especially those who are here in US, in Canada, those who are in Europe countries, and those who are everywhere in the country, because you are stressed up with a lot of debt that at the extent it mess up your mental health. So you need to look at that when you're at your 40s. Remember that the time is rushing, and you don't need to postpone making payments of those. So you need to get rid of that, especially when you're in your 40s. You don't need to have all these because it's going to affect even your vacation. You'll never go for vacation. Every time that you want to do anything that it need a lot of money, you need again to go into the depths and it become a slave. And I want to believe even the Bible tells us sometimes, these depths can make us slaves. So you need to reconsider that. You need to think about that. It's like postponing sexuality. You know, you can't postpone a sexuality that I'm going to give birth when I'm in my 70s. Let me continue, uh, uh, you know, getting myself, just postponing. You postpone, you postpone. There's some things that you cannot postpone because as time goes by and you become more aged, also you also lose energy. You cannot work the three job the way you used to work like 5 years ago because now it becomes so crazy. You become more tired. Even sometimes you cannot drive when you have worked overnight, because you'll now be sleepy, you know, and it's become more crazy. So these are something that you need to do if you are living here in this world and you are at that age of 40, that mid-term years, you need to think more about that because it reaches a time that you need also to have that arrest that come automatically. You're not being overstressed with the paying mortgage, paying car note, with paying the consumable credit cards that you keep on consuming and getting them. Because since I realized that there are a lot of things that I can get and still serve me more, especially if I maybe if I'm working with a computer and the computer is helping me to earn money, then I can go to buy the computer in my debit or credit. But if I know that the computer is only to serve me some purposes that is not much engaging, that I don't need those very new computer, you can go in and buy the refurbished one and still it can help you. If you don't have money, why go to start buying the phone with your credit card? Because I remember there's a time I bought a phone with credit card and it became more crazy for me after struggling to pay the amount every month. When I thought that I've already finished making payment, I went to that shop and I asked them that I've already completed now paying the phone, so the phone belongs to me. These guys told me that you need to pay another $180 for them to leave the phone with me. Why? I asked them why, and they told me it is because it was like you're leasing the phone. So it became more crazy. And my wife just went to some other app in the phone and got exactly the phone, even more like mine, at a very cheaper price that could help him. I'm not saying that we don't need to go for the new thing, but remember the advice that I can give you when you are at your 35 and at your 40, please start looking at how to finish this debt other than how to get the brand new thing. Someone was joking and telling us that I've reached an age that now I consider finishing to pay a certain debt being more important than driving a brand new car or getting a brand new thing, provided it can serve the purpose. You don't need to put yourself into the weight of consumable a credit card that will at the end leave you into a struggle life. That's why many people, you find them here in this country, in overseas countries, but they're really struggling. They cannot even get to pay the ticket to go to their country. They cannot do any investment. And it is because of taking some unserious judgment about things to do with finances. So that's why I want to tell you, my friends, it is good for you to reconsider that when you're at your 40 and you have not made payment of these credit cards. Kindly look at every way to make sure that you complete it. Their interest rates are very crazy and it can really press you down. So go and buy my book, My Pocket Friend Abroad, and uh, The Power of Money Mindset in Amazon.com and the Barnes& Noble. And I want to tell you, you are not going to regret. Anyway, thank you very much. This is Anthony, and I want to say God bless you.